Welcome everybody, we've got another song idea to develop. My goal on this channel is to help you see how easy it can be to capture a tiny little music idea and develop it into a song. I was eating some shrimp pad thai and started to hear a wah-wah guitar in my head. So I grabbed my phone, sung it into that, and then ran downstairs to track it so I can start to build it into a song. We're going to start off tracking the guitar and we're going to get it on right now.
Wow, wow, chicka, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, chicka, wow, wow, and then drop heavy.
So I'm going to start off by tracking guitars, loop a 4 or 8 bar section I think, and then I'll play through and just play around with the idea that I had and see what I come up with. I use takes to layers. That lets me keep every pass through the loop so I can pick the best performance. I'm going to track 2 types of guitar for this one. There's a clean guitar that I hear with a little wah-wah on it, and then I'm going to have the heavy overdrive distorted guitar. So first I'm going to start with the clean guitar. For that, I'm using Amplitude. There's Silver 12 clean, and then I've got a wah pedal on there set to auto. But I can always go back and I can change amps, I can change effects. So ultimately, I'm just tracking a clean guitar. Now I'm just going to play that guitar groove for a while, and then I will listen back through and I'll find a section of it that I kind of nailed, hopefully, and I'll use that to build with. What I like to do is get that riff down and then loop it, and I use that as a building block to compose and arrange a song. And as we do, I like to track my guitars twice, pan one hard left, one hard right, get a little bit different feel to it. So let's go back through it again. When the song is composed and arranged, then I'll go back through and I'll retrack everything with one full take so it'll have all the personality and life to it that I'm looking for. But right now, to get that idea from my head into a workable piece of music, this is the approach I like. I've got my clean guitars down. I'm going to just go ahead into the overdrive guitars while I'm into the groove. I'm going to set up 2 guitar tracks, put Amplitude on those. These are going to get the Marshall crunch. And again, I can always change that later on. There's one guitar, switch to the next one, run right back through. I will tell you what, bar chords hurt after a while. I asked a guitar player friend of mine how you get good at playing bar chords, and he said you just play them and play them and play them and play them and play them. Always a work in progress for me, that's for sure. I've got 4 guitar tracks to listen back through now, 2 clean, 2 overdrive. I'm going to solo each one individually, and then as I listen through, along the way, I'll place markers when I think I nailed a part. Then I'll pick the best take of all those. Got that part. Hey, that's better. Let's add the second guitar and pan it out wide. Let's go right into the overdrive and pick those. Now let's pan those and fill the sound out. I've got my guitar parts picked out. When I'm duplicating my guitar part to build out the song, I keep Studio One set to snap to grid. So that makes sure that I keep a steady tempo throughout the whole song. I've got the first guitar loop set. It is the tight wah guitar. I'm gonna play through with closed hi-hat. I'll just experiment some and see what happens. Okay, we've got some options now. We've got several takes, we've got some hi-hat groove, we've got some out on the ride. We can change up the patterns a little bit whenever we want later on. I play it a couple different ways, I try some different things, I mess up, but then I can go back and I can pick which one I like the best, and that's the one I'm gonna develop. Okay, we're here, we're set up, we're in the groove. Let's switch over to the overdrive, and I'm gonna track that one now. I think I'm gonna try a different kit. I'm gonna use that big funk kit that I like. It's got that huge kick drum, big crashy cymbals. I think that's gonna sound good with the overdrive guitars. And I can always come back later. I can switch kits. All I'm recording right now is MIDI data. Let's mash up some overdrive guitar. I love playing stuff like that, deep, open, driving, crashy funk. I love it. I've got some washy open hi-hat, I've got some crash. I will work with both of those because they were really fun to play. All right, let's go back to the desk and see how we got it. So cool. We started off with one lick while I was eating dinner. Now we got a couple different verse ideas, we got a couple different chorus ideas. We've got options for composing and arranging a song moving forward, so I'm fired up. Let's listen back through drums. We got a couple different styles to pick. Some closed hi-hat from the clean guitar, a section of the ride cymbal over the clean guitar. Then in the overdrive guitar, I'm gonna grab some of the washed out hi-hat and I'm gonna grab some of the big crash groove. I'm gonna go through each section one by one. First the clean guitar, play that loop, cycle through takes using these arrows here. And when I hear a part that I like, that I played the cleanest, that I like the pattern, grab that and I'm gonna use that as a building block. So that one, I kind of like that. I've actually got the hi-hat and the ride, so I'm gonna call that maybe I'll use that one. I like that take. It's got some hi-hat, it's got some ride in it. I can grab a couple chunks out of that and that gives me enough to work with, so I don't need to go through 5,800 more different takes. Let's switch kits over to the big funk kit for the big crashy stuff. We've got the overdrive guitar. I'm gonna listen for some washed out hi-hat groove that I like, and then that big crashy chorus groove. All right, cool. So I actually found one take that had a good hi-hat groove and a good crash groove, both in the same take. I switched up halfway through. It was kind of a happy little mistake. I am gonna work with that one, and I'm gonna cut out a section of each one, and I'm gonna be able to loop that. And again, these are building blocks just to compose and arrange my song. This gives me a great way to be able to block the song out with different feels in mind. Let's bring some bass into the mix now. All right, let's take a pass through at the bass. All right, cool. We took some runs through, we tried some different things, tried playing with a pick. Now I'll go back through and I'll pick a couple sections I want to work with. I need to pick out an intro, a verse, and 2 parts for the heavy chorus. That section's probably going to work. I like that opening up the bass line more for the crashy section. Okay, now I have an intro pattern, a verse, and I have 2 heavy chorus feels. So what started off in my head with a little funky wah guitar while I was eating shrimp pad thai has turned into actually like a driving chorus, and then of course some funky wah guitar. When I get down here and I start working with these ideas, they start to take on a life of their own. So that's it. It's not so hard. It started off with just a little riff in my head, and now I've got like a full-fledged song to work with. I've played drums my whole life, but I don't consider myself a stupendous guitar or bass player. And you don't have to have tons of expensive gear to do this. With an inexpensive interface, a MIDI keyboard with some drum pads on it, throw a microphone into the mix, game on. You can get down any idea that gets into your head. Thanks so much for hanging out. Go fire up your gear, get creative. Feel free to put a link in the comments and we can all go check your music out. Make sure to subscribe and we will see you in the next session.